Welcome back, everybody. I'm Barrick, and this is Method Medley. We want to talk to everybody a little bit about something that's of great concern, not only locally, but across the nation, in fact, around the world, and that is how to avoid getting the coronavirus and how this can affect contractors and construction workers across the globe. The coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, is a new virus, and that's important for us to understand and remember. The CDC is still learning a lot more about this. Nevertheless, there are some basic things that we can practice regarding how we can keep ourselves free from infection. And this has everything to do with what you do as a contractor. We come into contact with clients, we shake hands, we meet and greet folks, and we want to keep ourselves safe. Something that the CDC is aware of is that the virus is transmitted from person to person. What does that mean? Well, when we're in close proximity with someone who has the virus, what is close proximity? About 6 feet. Additionally, the virus is spread from unclean surfaces when someone coughs or sneezes, and the virus becomes airborne. So what we're going to do is identify 7 tips that can help us avoid catching the coronavirus as construction workers and contractors, and how we can avoid spreading it to others as well. Tip number 1, avoid close personal contact with anyone who's sick. Now that's basic, but it's a good thing to remember. For those that we see coughing or sneezing, maintain a safe distance. Of course, with every one of these tips, we need to ask, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for me in what we do in our line of work? Well, we might need to postpone jobs if it means that we're going to be exposed to someone who has this virus or just has flu-like symptoms. And it's not the end of the world to reschedule. It costs time, but it also costs a lot more money if we get sick. Tip number 2. And this is important because habitually we scratch our face, we scratch our nose, but we want to avoid touching our face with our hands when we're working, after we've used the toilet facility and so forth. We want to keep our hands clean, and as much as possible, develop a habit of not touching our face, not touching our eyes, as the infection can spread much easier through touching our face. Tip number 3, stay home when you're sick. I know what you're thinking. I can take it. It's not that bad. I'm not that sick. But be practical. Be reasonable with yourself and what you demand of your body. You're only going to be able to accomplish as much as your body allows you to do. So it's okay to stay home if you're sick. And it's the kind, considerate, professional thing to do for your clients who are also your neighbors. Basic tip number 4, cover your cough or sneeze. Again, this sounds basic, right? But how often do you see individuals who forget to do so? If you're going to cough, turn into your arm or your shoulder. If possible, cough or sneeze into a rag and then dispose of it. Throw it away. Don't carry it around with you. Step number 5, clean and disinfect things that you touch on a regular basis. Probably, I speak for all of us, the thing we might touch more than anything else is a tape measure. It's certainly up there with the most commonly used things. How often do we disinfect our tape measure? It'd be a good idea to take your personal tools, wipe them down with a disinfectant. And that way, again, it's going to prevent you from this virus and the spread of it to others. Step number 6, only wear a mask if you're sick. Now, I'll qualify that. I work in dusty environments, sawdust, concrete, and when we're in those situations, we absolutely want to wear a mask. A mask like this, known as a dust mask, the technical name is an N95, meaning that it'll prevent 95% of particulates, or the chunks in the air that are going to harm your lungs, from entering your lungs. That is a great practice and a professional one when you're on the job site working with anything that could harm your personal health. But when it comes to COVID-19, these are being robbed off the shelf. And it's really not necessary to protect yourself with these if you're not sick. Another time you would use these is if you were doing a job in a healthcare facility or if you're caring for someone in a healthcare facility. Step number 7, keep your hands clean as much as possible. Now, what do we mean by keeping your hands clean? All of us know how to wash our hands. We know what it means when somebody asks us. When my wife asked me to wash my hands before dinner, I know what she means. But the reality of it is, to effectively wash our hands, we need to use warm water and we need to scrub with soap for about 20 seconds. The 20-second rule really allows the majority of the germs that we accumulate on our hands to be eliminated. So count to about 20 when we wash our hands, and we'll be cleaner than if we just give them a light rinse. Now, if we don't have access to soap and water, another option or substitution would be an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that we could keep with us. We could keep it in our tool bag, we could keep it in our car or our truck, which I recommend, and we can use that throughout the day. When do we wash our hands? Before eating a meal, after using the restroom, coughing or sneezing on our hand. Make sure we wash our hands as soon as possible. In the end, always wash your hands when they are visibly dirty. It's all about consideration for those around us, our customers, and our families. So there you have it, the 7 ways, and they're basic, 7 things that you and I can practice in order to avoid getting infected by the coronavirus. If we practice these simple 7 steps, we will lead a cleaner, healthier, safer lifestyle, and we'll be happier because of it. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone, and remember, if you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to like and subscribe down at the bottom. And by all means, if you have any other suggestions for us as to how we can keep ourselves and our neighbors free from the coronavirus, let us know in the comment section below. I'm Barrick, and this is Method Medley. We'll see you guys next time. Be safe.